there's a disturbing truth you've been avoiding. You're not imagining their behavior. You're underestimating how dangerous their emotions are becoming. Because what looks like interest, what feels like attention, what you keep brushing off as confusion, is actually something far more unstable. They are losing control. And the most unsettling part, it's happening quietly, beneath the surface, where even they can't fully see it. But you can feel it, can't you? The shift in their tone, the way their eyes linger just a second too long, the sudden pullback after moments of intensity. That contradiction isn't random. It's war. A silent psychological war between what they want and what they're terrified to admit. But here's the truth. People don't struggle like this unless something inside them has already crossed a line. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because once emotion passes a certain threshold, logic doesn't negotiate anymore. It collapses. You're no longer dealing with someone who is figuring out their feelings. You're dealing with someone whose subconscious has already decided and whose conscious mind is desperately trying to regain control. Most people don't see this. They assume mixed signals mean uncertainty. But uncertainty doesn't create tension like this. Uncertainty doesn't create that intensity you feel when they're near. Uncertainty doesn't cause someone to almost say something, then choke on it, like it would expose too much. No, that's repression. And repression is never passive. It builds pressure. It distorts behavior. It leaks out in ways they don't even understand. Have you noticed how they sometimes act distant, almost cold, and then suddenly, without warning, they're intensely present? That's not moodiness. That's emotional whiplash. A subconscious trying to suppress desire while simultaneously being pulled deeper into it. And here's the part that should make you uneasy. They don't just feel something for you. They feel something they believe they shouldn't feel. That's what's breaking them. Because when desire conflicts with identity, when attraction clashes with self-image, the mind doesn't resolve it peacefully. It fractures. And those fractures show up in subtle ways. They might challenge you for no reason. They might test your reactions. They might create distance, just to see if you'll close it. Not because they're playing games, but because they're trying to regain control over something that's slipping through their fingers. You. But here's the truth. The more they try to control it, the more intense it becomes. Because suppressed emotions don't disappear. They mutate. They become obsession disguised as curiosity. They become jealousy disguised as indifference. They become longing disguised as irritation. And if you pay close attention, you'll see it in the moments they think you're not looking. That flicker of vulnerability. That brief hesitation before they speak. That tension in their silence. That's not weakness. That's containment. They're holding something back. Something heavy. Something consuming. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because the longer someone suppresses a powerful emotional truth, the more unpredictable their behavior becomes. They start acting in ways that don't even make sense to them. They push you away, then feel the absence like withdrawal. They ignore you, then obsess over your response. They create space, then panic when it actually exists. It's not confusion. Most people don't see this. They think emotional instability means lack of interest, but real indifference is calm. It's steady. It doesn't fluctuate like this. What you're witnessing is intensity trying to disguise itself as control. And failing. Because deep down, they've already lost control. They just haven't admitted it yet. And that's why every interaction feels loaded. Every silence feels intentional. Every word feels like it carries something unspoken beneath it. Because it does. There's something they're not saying, something they're actively trying not to say, and the effort of holding it back is starting to show. You can feel it pressing against the surface, like a truth that's about to break through, but hasn't found the right moment yet. And when that moment comes, it won't be subtle, because suppressed emotions don't emerge gently. They erupt. But here's the question you haven't asked yourself. If they're already losing control over their feelings for you, what happens when they finally stop fighting it? There's something even more unsettling than someone developing feelings for you. It's watching them fight those feelings like they're trying to survive something. Because this isn't simple attraction anymore. This is resistance. And resistance only exists when something inside them feels dangerous. But here's the truth. People don't resist what they don't value. They resist what has the power to change them. And you've already done that. Not intentionally, not dramatically, but deeply, in ways they can't reverse. And that's exactly why they're pulling back. Because somewhere in their subconscious, a quiet realization has already formed. You are not just an option. You are a disruption. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because disruption doesn't just challenge their emotions, it threatens their identity, who they believe they are, what they think they want, how they've structured their entire sense of control. And suddenly, you exist inside that structure like a crack. At first, it's subtle. They try to rationalize you. They reduce you to something manageable. They tell themselves it's temporary, or exaggerated, or meaningless. But it doesn't work, because every interaction with you reinforces something they can't categorize, something that speaks directly to the unconscious. Freud called this the return of the repressed, desires buried long ago, needs they trained themselves to ignore, emotions they convinced themselves they didn't have. You're not creating those things. You're revealing them. And that's what's terrifying. Because now they're not just dealing with you, they're confronting parts of themselves they thought were gone. Parts that don't ask politely, parts that demand. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because the more they feel drawn to you, the more they feel out of control of themselves. And people will do almost anything to avoid that feeling, even if it means sabotaging something they secretly want. Have you noticed how they sometimes contradict themselves? One moment they're fully engaged, present, open, almost exposed. Then suddenly they retreat. They become distant, guarded, even cold. Not because their feelings changed, but because their fear caught up. Fear of what this means. Fear of how deep this goes. Fear of losing control over who they thought they were. But here's the truth. You're not just triggering attraction. You're triggering transformation. And transformation feels like loss before it feels like growth. So their mind reacts the only way, knows how, it resists. But resistance creates tension, and tension seeks release. That's why their behavior feels so inconsistent, because two opposing forces are fighting inside them. Desire pulling them closer, fear forcing them back. And neither side is weak, which means every interaction with you becomes a battlefield. Most people don't see this. They think mixed signals mean indecision. But this isn't indecision. This is internal conflict at a level most people never admit exists. Because if they acknowledged it, they would have to admit something far more intense, that you matter more than they're comfortable with. And this is where it gets dangerous, because once someone reaches that realization, they can't unsee it. They can pretend, they can deny, they can distract themselves. But the subconscious doesn't forget. It keeps pulling. It keeps reminding. It keeps creating moments where the truth almost slips out. That look they give you when they think you're not paying attention. that slight pause before they respond, that tension in their voice when things get too real. Those are cracks, and cracks don't stay small forever. But here's the part most people miss. The stronger the repression, the stronger the eventual release, because the mind can only suppress so much before something breaks. And when it does, it doesn't come out neatly. It comes out emotionally, unfiltered, uncontrolled, unavoidable. And that's what they're afraid of. Not just losing you, but losing themselves in the process. Because deep down, they already sense it. If they let this fully happen, they won't be the same person anymore. And that's the real conflict. Not whether they feel something, but whether they're willing to become someone new because of it. And right now, they're standing at the edge of that decision, pretending they're not. Beauty. Their behavior is starting to betray them, because control is slipping. And when control slips, truth gets louder. The question is, how much longer can they keep pretending? Before something inside them forces the truth out, the tension you feel around them, it isn't accidental. It's the echo of a war they are waging inside themselves. A war between who they think they are and who they actually are when they're near you. And here's the brutal psychological fact. Most people never survive that war without leaving pieces of themselves behind. Because every suppressed desire, every emotion they shove into a locked compartment creates pressure. Pressure that builds silently, invisibly, until it starts cracking their defenses in ways even they can't predict. Have you noticed it? The moments they freeze mid-sentence. The way their eyes dart when you say something innocent. The subtle tremor in their tone that almost, but not quite, reveals their truth. That isn't hesitation. That isn't awkwardness. That is the subconscious pushing through repression, and repression, unlike reason, doesn't negotiate. It doesn't calculate. It doesn't wait for polite timing. It bursts forth in fragments, in glimpses, in moments that feel random, but are meticulously orchestrated by their inner turmoil. But here's what most people fail to understand. This is not just about attraction. This is about confrontation. They are confronting a version of themselves they trained to ignore, a version that craves intensity, vulnerability, and connection, but also fears it with a primal, almost animal instinct. And the deeper this conflict goes, the more unpredictable they become. Notice how they sometimes act impulsively, sending messages they almost immediately regret, touching, then pulling away, closing the distance, then creating it again. This isn't carelessness. It's a mind spell. It in two. One part desperately drawn to you, the other equally terrified of what that means. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The parts they hide, the parts they repress, are the parts most likely to control their behavior without their conscious awareness. They might think they are in control. They might tell themselves they can handle it. But control is an illusion when desire is in conflict with identity. And identity, Freud would argue, is everything. It is the lens through which we filter reality, the framework that decides what is acceptable and what must be denied. So when desire pushes through that lens, it fractures perception. Suddenly, they see you differently. Suddenly, their thoughts are invaded by things they promised themselves they would never feel. Suddenly, every interaction feels charged, explosive, dangerous. And yet, they keep trying to maintain composure. Because composure is safety. Composure is the last defense against being consumed by what they're feeling. Composure is the thin veneer that separates the person they show the world from the person who's unraveling inside. But the veneer is cracking, and cracks have a way of exposing truths that logic cannot contain. You may have noticed how sometimes, without warning, they will act out of character. They say the wrong thing at the wrong moment. They misjudge situations. They misinterpret your intentions, not maliciously, but uncontrollably. Those moments are not accidents. They are subconscious outbursts. Evidence that control is slipping. Evidence that the parts of them they hide from themselves are fighting to be recognized. And here's the part that should make you pause. They are terrified of what will happen if those parts win. Not because they don't want you, but because they don't know what it would mean for who they think they are. Because if they give in, if they stow, resisting, they may never go back to being the person they were. And this is where the intensity becomes unbearable. Every conversation becomes a minefield. Every glance carries weight. Every silence hums with anticipation. And the tension you feel is not just theirs. It is the reflection of the collapse happening inside them. Every suppressed impulse, every buried longing, every secret desire, all pressing, all urgent, all demanding release. And when it finally surfaces, it won't be subtle. It won't be gentle. It will hit with a force that shakes everything they believed about themselves and about you. You're not just witnessing their unraveling. You are the catalyst for it. And here's the final, near unbearable truth of this stage. They are teetering on the edge between confession and chaos, between control and surrender, between what they are and what they could become because of you. The question is not whether they will act. The question is how far they are willing to go before the weight of their own feelings destroys the walls they've built. And you can already sense it. The intensity in the room, the unspoken urgency, the energy that is almost too much to bear, because something inside them is breaking, and when it does, there will be no going back. This is it. The point most people never reach, the moment where everything hidden, suppressed, and denied comes roaring to the surface. They've been holding it back for so long, pretending they were fine, pretending that this you is just a passing distraction. But deep down, they know the truth. You are not a distraction. You are the mirror, the part of themselves they tried to hide, reflected back with merciless clarity. And here's the terrifying part. Mirrors don't lie. And what they see in you is who they really are when the walls come down. The subconscious has been whispering to them all along. Desire, longing, fear, obsession, vulnerability, whispering truths they were too scared to face. But whispers grow louder when ignored, and now those whispers have become a roar. You've seen the signs, the hesitation before words, the tremor in their voice, the way they can't meet your gaze without a flicker of something raw, uncontrolled. That's not hesitation. That's unfiltered emotion pushing past the cage their mind built. And every attempt to regain composure fails, because suppression only lasts so long. Because control is always temporary when something this powerful is involved. They may try to rationalize it. They may try to tell themselves they're fine. They may even try to convince themselves they can go back to the way things were. But it's impossible. Because you've exposed something permanent, something undeniable, something that cannot be erased by time, logic, or distraction. And this is where most people break. Not because they didn't want to maintain control, not because they didn't try, but because the emotional truth is stronger than every defense they've ever built. You see, the mind can fight repression, but it can't fight attraction this intense. It can't fight desire that challenges identity. It can't fight the truth that screams beneath the surface, demanding acknowledgement. And now, It is screaming. Every glance they give you carries weight. Every silence feels loaded. Every word trembles with what they almost, but can't quite say. And the tension, the psychological tension, has reached a point of no return. Because the human psyche cannot sustain the constant push and pull of desire and fear without cracking. And cracks are not gentle. Cracks are explosive. Cracks reveal what was always there, hidden beneath the veneer of composure. They are losing control, not because you force, edit, not because you manipulated it, not because you did anything at all. They are losing control because their inner world can no longer contain the intensity of their own emotions. And the closer they get to you, the more the walls crumble, the more the pretense evaporates, the more raw, unfiltered truth emerges. And here's the final, unavoidable reality. When someone loses control over their feelings for you, it is no longer about choice. It is about inevitability. Their subconscious has already chosen. Their repressed desires have already decided. The very part of them they tried to deny has already won. And all that remains is the collapse, the surrender, the confession. Because when you reach the point where suppression fails, everything becomes visible. The longing, the obsession, the fear, the passion, the chaos, all of it, all at once. They can no longer pretend. They can no longer resist. They can no longer hide. They are completely, irreversibly undone. And in that moment, you realize something profound. The person standing in front of you, the one who fought so hard, is no longer the person they were. Because losing control over feelings is not weakness. It is total, consuming transformation. And the truth you see in them is not just about them. It's about the power you hold. The truth you awaken. The chaos you reflect. They are lost and yet in a way found. Because the walls are gone.